JBL is quite a controversial person in the world of professional wrestling, mainly due to the stories of him outside the ring, which has led to many questions marks about him as a person. However, when it comes to his in-ring talent, there is no denying his powerhouse style led to a lot of success. Number 10, made look like it, John Cena. When John Cena was first on the rise in WWE, he got the chance to work against JBL. It's something that could have gone one of two ways. But JBL worked hard to make Cena look like a legitimate talent and something who will be a major star in the future. He put Cena over massively at WrestleMania 21, losing the WWE Championship to the younger wrestler. While it was impossible to predict how big Cena would end up being, there is no doubt that JBL played a part in making it happen. Number 9, made look a joke, Blue Many. One of the most infamous stories surrounding JBL was his treatment of Blue Many, who is suddenly made to look like a joke. At the ECW One Night Stand event in 2005, an all-out brawl took place with the ring being completely full, and JBL took this as an opportunity to go into business for himself. Number 8, made look like it, the Hardy Boys. JBL was often someone that WWE would push younger wrestlers to work against because he was seen as a locker room leader, and his hard-hitting style was a taste of what people would be like. That was the case when Appa got to work against the Hardy Boys, who were an upcoming team at the time. Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy were young stars on the rise, making a name for themselves, and JBL helped to them look legitimate. The Hardy Boys won their first ever WWE Tag Team Championship by defeating Appa, and the rest is history for them as a unit. Number 7, made look a joke, Hornswoggle. Vince McMahon's illegitimate Charlie story is something that never reached its full potential, with the decision to give Hornswoggle the role being an odd one, to say the least. WWE didn't seem to know what they were doing, and this saw JBL enter the story as Vince pushed him to deal with the things. This led to JBL essentially bullying Hornswoggle on his screen as part of the storyline, using his height and strength advantage to dominate all their interactions. While it led to a more engaging story against Finlay, his work fight with Hornswoggle didn't help his opponent. Number 6, made look like it, the Boogeyman. The Boogeyman was the type of character that could easily have been made up to look like a joke if other wrestlers didn't react perfectly and put them over. However, that is exactly what JBL did, as he would sell perfectly for the supernatural star to make him seem like a threat. It was easy for fans to take Boogeyman seriously because JBL was a top heel who worked at the top of the card, yet he was selling and making the Boogeyman seem like a legitimate star, which was great work. Number 5, made look a joke, Baron Corbin. A recent example of JBL making a wrestler look like a joke was through the partnership he had with the Baron Corbin. WWE brought JBL back to be a manager for Corbin, with the idea being that the Hall of Famer will be able to help elevate Corbin as a talent, but that's not how it played out. Instead, Corbin went on a massive losing streak, and JBL added nothing to his overall character on television. He would ultimately quit working with him, saying that he made people change the channel, which made Corbin seem like a joke. Number 4, made look like it, Orlando Jordan. Orlando Jordan was a solid hand inside the ring, and even though he did not end up being a memorable talent, it certainly wasn't for a lack of trying by JBL. Jordan's greatest run in wrestling came working alongside JBL when he was at the top of the business as a major heel. JBL's cabinet was a faction that was pushed heavily by WWE, and Jordan was a key member of that. He got to have a run with the United States Championship, and JBL helped to put him over as one of the biggest stars in that period. Number 3, made look a joke, Shawn Michaels. While Shawn Michaels had already reached legendary status by the time he had a singles feud with JBL, the storyline that WWE created for them made him look like a joke. The entire thing boiled down to JBL claiming Michaels had no money, and that led to him becoming JBL's employee. It was all done to gain hate for JBL and sympathy for the Michaels, but the reality was that it was simply too hard to buy into the entire angle. It made Michaels look ridiculous, and that isn't something that the company should ever have pushed. Number 2, made look like it. Batista. Batista was already a star on the rise by the time he got to work against JBL, but overcoming an established name like the Wrestling God helped him reach the next level. The two men feuded for several months, and Batista was able to dominate the entire way when it came to the big moments. It helped make the animal look like a monster, and it was clear that WWE had big plans for him as a performer. It was a strong run for him, with JBL working hard to make him look great. Number 1, made look a joke. Public Enemy. Public Enemy had been a hit outside the world of WWE, working in ECW and WCW, so bringing them to the company seemed like a good idea. To test the new team, they got to work against APA, which led to the JBL and Farrick showcasing their physical style in a match that turned into a fight. Public Enemy didn't want to take the planned finish through a table, so APA decided to take matters into their own hands to make it happen. The aftermath was a chaotic brawl, and it certainly didn't make the new tag team look good.